Liverpool 4, Red Star Belgrade 0. That was easy. You know one of those popcorn watches? You know, you just sat there just eating popcorn and that, looking at the game and that's chatting away. That was nice work. That was a nice, easy game for us, don't you think?
Light work. Job done. On to the next one.
What do you reckon of Red Star Belgrade?
I thought they'll get... I mean,
Be nice. Bro.
No, of course, but listen, I think they're top of their league. Yeah, and I know that there were a few players short, so let's not put it too far out of perspective. But I reckon on that performance, they'll struggle to beat Championship sides. And that's not a bad thing because Championship football isn't the worst. But I just thought that they were just like the way that they gave the ball, the turnovers of possession was just like it was like taking candy from a baby.
But what about right from the beginning of the game? Because I don't think they were that bad, were they? Because there were times the commentators were saying, "Oh, it's not really flying for Liverpool," and suddenly the goal happened, and suddenly the whole thing changed.
I think it was just a matter of time. I think it was a matter of time. I think it was like, as I said, it's like I hate sounding arrogant or anything like that as a Liverpool fan because obviously, we haven't had this kind of expectation for a while. So it's nice to be in a position to go into a game where you're expected to win, but actually go in and do the business. And I'd say that's the same thing. Like against Huddersfield, we were expected to win. It's just the performance wasn't that good. But we've done the same thing today. We didn't start very well. I think we started really sluggish. And even still, the one thing that worries me is, the final pass in the final third. If we got that right, we could have scored a few more goals today. And the same thing goes against Huddersfield and potentially a few games before that, even PSG when we won.
That's the biggest difference between last year and this year. I think that's clearly that is what's missing out, right, from last year, and you can see it. But I mean, Big Shaq. I mean, hats off to go to him because even at that stage, Liverpool, even though we were creating stuff, it wasn't like, oh yeah, we're going to score right now. Until he came up and did that, when he tracked back and did that,
won the ball, cross, and
then for the second goal. Do you know what I mean? It was him again.
He's been like probably the best player for us for the last couple of games, and he's been the difference in the last couple of games. So
what bargain as well?
Yeah, bargain.
That's easily our best.
Yeah,
that is our best purchase. Do you think?
Yeah, I think at the moment you can't look. Well, actually, no. The goalkeeper looks very good to me. I just like it. Just fills you with confidence. It just fills me with a little bit of like you're assured. You know that if they did break down the other end, there's still a lot to do to get past him. That's the confidence that it gives. I think the big shout out has to go to a guy that we've laughed and joked about for quite a lot. Not in a sort of degrading way, but just because of the way it sort of kind of panned out. But I thought Fabinho was brilliant today.
The Great Wall of Brazil. Boy, they were trying to get past him and just get out. But it was good to see him not just making crunching tackles, but when he was charging forward, it was almost like Yaya Toure-esque. You know when he just starts running through the teams?
Come on.
No, look, this is Red Star Belgrade. I'm not stupid, you know what I mean? But the way he was charging forward, I'm saying when he looks really strong when going forward as well.
Good, powerful runner. Yeah. I think he grew into the game, and it's nice to end of the day, the only way these types of players are going to grow into games if you give them game time, and it was good to get him some game time, and it looks like he's obviously acclimatising, which is good to see. Funnily enough, I think it was just before the Firmino goal, I was actually saying, Firmino looks like he's a bit off it. He keeps giving the ball away, and then he's just taking the ball and stack it in. So, it's good to see the front three all scoring goals. Nice to see Mane back. Salah still doesn't look like his flowing self, and his body language does worry me a little bit, if I'm going to be brutally honest. His body language does suggest to me that he's a little bit, sort of like, it looks a bit fed up, and he cuts a bit of a lone figure at the moment.
Well, he sent a message out to the haters, didn't he, at the end there? He said, people doubting about the Mo Salah. So I think for him as well, he's getting some...
Must be getting tiring and
boring.
Yeah,
and he gets some stress off his shoulders as well. Like he's still scoring goals. That's the most important thing for us. Like you said from last year, he might not be firing it on all cylinders as he was last year, but he just started off like this similar to last season.
We've won 4-0 today, and we haven't actually played that well. We haven't done anything unbelievably well. I think, again, the centre-halves, Joey Gomez, Jesus.
His ball, when he threads through, and he's so calm on the ball. I think that's a massive, massive, massive plus for him.
Yeah. I don't think there's much more else to really cover off. I think, who's your man of the match?
That's a tight one. I think I'm going to probably squeeze it just to Shaqiri because the goals came from him, right? And I think close is going to be the Great Wall of Brazil, Fabinho. So I think out of them two is a close one for me.
I'd probably say Shaqiri because I think he was the difference in the game in the times when it was a bit tight. But I actually, again, special mention, I thought Gini was really good today. I thought he was really, really good. Just to go in about the dirty work and just breaking up play, winning tackles when it was just there was whenever they looked to break, him and Fabinho were the ones that were straight in their faces. So yeah, but Shaqiri.
Napoli 2, PSG 2. Now that is a beautiful result for us.
I don't know, I'm not so sure. Because if PSG had won that game, so if Napoli had won that game, it would have been beautiful because that next game then becomes huge for them. Because let's just say Napoli won again, then PSG are out. But then let's just say PSG had won, then that means Liverpool could potentially break away even further.
I just like it the fact that it's in our hands. And both teams have basically lost 2 points on us, and we're going to play Red Star again. And it's going to be a tough place to go in terms of
horrible. The atmosphere. There's videos on the social media. Check it out. The atmosphere.
That tunnel they walk through.
If anyone's watching and wants to know what it's about, I think it's on Instagram or YouTube, do the walk from the changing room to the pitch at Red Star, and then talk to me. There's going to be certain mans that are going to get found out. The way that Alexander-Arnold was getting in that mate's face, he won't be doing that out there. I say a bait. So it's not going to be an easy game. I think who was it? Napoli went out there and drew. And they are used to hostile atmospheres. So it'll be interesting to see how it's going to be when you go out there.
Before we end this, I want a big shout out to Studge. Because we're always digging Studge out. And
I'll be the first one to admit it. I was as well. But today, maybe it's...
This is all we want to see.
But maybe, again, pessimist and playing devil's advocate.
What, watching Kangaroos TV?
No, but what I'm saying is, from watching that today, would suggest that that's your level.
Yeah.
Because that's the pessimist in me. And don't get me wrong, it's nice to see him actually passing the ball. He set up one of the goals. He set up that move at the end. He was tracking back. He was dropping into those spaces.
No, so, what do you mean you're playing at your level? What do you mean by that?
The level of opponent is where he's at. That's the type of team that he's very good against.
Yes and no, but I think like you just alluded to there, that the way he was moving the ball today was so much quicker. He was passing the ball and he was involved, and some of the balls he picked out were fantastic. And that's all I personally want to see from Sturridge, is you move that ball quicker and shift it and pass it. Because sometimes he hogs it on, and even today, the shots that he did take off were at the correct times.
Yeah. And
that's all I want to see. And then, like I said, we're not digging players up because we dislike them. If we like things that we see in players, like Sturridge today, I really enjoyed watching Sturridge today. And that's what I want to see from him.
As a sort of closing question, this is something, a point that I made months ago, actually, probably the end of last season. And I think more and more we see, the more and more I think I was right, is that I think Adam Lallana's time's done. I like Adam Lallana. I really do like Adam Lallana. But I think it's time. I don't think he's. I think Klopp's looking and thinking, you know what? I'm not sure he's going to give us what we.
Squad player.
I don't think that even when he comes on, he slows things down. That he's good. He works tight areas, but he seems to have lost that little bit of turn of pace. And I think everything that Liverpool are trying to do at the moment is at pace. And then you want someone who could slot the pass, but like Shaqiri, he'll rat, but then he has the coolness in mind and the cool thought to go boom, slide past.
But don't forget, Lallana used to rat, didn't he? Alongside the.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I think the time's come now where injuries are catching up with him, and he needs to go somewhere he can play.
I want to give Lallana a bit more time and see if he gets there, because he just come out from injury. I want to see if he gets back to those heights that he did. But I think I'm starting to agree with you a little bit more now. When I see him now, I'm thinking, is he really offering us that much? And
that's my question to everybody who's watching.
What
do you think? Is it time for him to sort of say, look, you know what? Maybe it's time to go and play for back to a Southampton or a Bournemouth or something like that, where he's going to play games like a Watford, where he's going to play loads of games, but it's not going to be as full throttle as maybe what it is at Liverpool.
Until next time, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Peace.